Hello and welcome to this episode of Aussievision. My name is Zhi, and today we'll be reviewing San Marino's Eurovision national selection, Una Voce per San Marino. Eurovision's smallest country today gave us one of the longest national finals, a show that went for so long at one point I thought they announced the artist in May. Joining me today to look back at the final is one of my fellow Aussievision contributors, the lovely Colleen, who should be given a medal for sitting through that marathon. Hello, Colleen. How are you feeling after that?
Hello, I'm feeling quite tired. 5 long hours of San Marino choosing their artist.
Yeah, it was very, very long. It went to like 1 o'clock in San Marino, so very long indeed. So let's start with the overview of Una Voce per San Marino. What did you think of the show overall?
I think it went, as I said, 5 hours, longer than it needed to be. I think personally there was too many interval acts. We had what was it, 4 Beatles adjacent songs, so many Albano performances, maybe even too many qualifiers. They could have done with maybe 15. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely thought so. It felt more like a chat show at some stages. Like that host, like especially the male guy, just kept yakking and yakking with all those random interviews and over interludes. And even at one point, I got so bored. I even watched Lorene's Melody Festival and twice because the interlude was just that long and I was bored. So, and the show just ran very over time. I know it's very San Marino Italian sort of style to sort of do that, but it was very long. I will say a positive though. The stage was really like big and relatively high tech. So I think it's actually quite exciting because it shows maybe if San Marino one day wins Eurovision, maybe they could even host it in that little theatre. It was pretty good and there was a lot of seating. So those are sort of my thoughts. And naturally with San Marino, we had a very unexpected winner. It was PK Jack with Like an Animal. They'll represent San Marino at Eurovision. Colleen, what did you think of their performance and how do you think it will go at Eurovision?
Well, I think it is a pretty good song. I do like rock, and for me, it does have a pulse, unlike some of the other rock songs that were in this national selection. But thinking of Eurovision in May, there's going to be Let 3, there's going to be Voyager, there's going to be Joker out. There's already so many rock entries, and I think those 3 are going to definitely outshine PK Jacks.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm slightly bemused how this won because even in this selection, I felt there were better rock songs. Um, and I don't think, as we said, Voyager, it's a different style of rock, but I feel like sometimes it gets kind of grouped together in the same type of rock. But I don't think Voyager has to worry too much. Even though San Marino's in the same semi, the same half of the semi, I don't really think it's going to affect them too much. And dare say if Achilles last year couldn't qualify, I don't quite see how this will qualify. So
Yeah.
unfortunately for us, maybe not the best winner. But of course, as Australians, we also had someone to root for. So we had Alfie Curie singing Collide. Colleen, what did you think of his performance?
I don't necessarily think it was my favorite song, but I do honestly think he had one of the best vocal performances in Una Voce per San Marino. And it's kind of reflected in that special award that he got, that Critics Prize. If I remember correctly, he was given a Critics Prize for the best song, even though he didn't win. So that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I was because he didn't come in the top 10, didn't he? In
No,
the
I
official
don't think he
results. No.
played.
I thought that was quite shocking, especially given, some of the other results which we'll discuss, including the winner and a certain Eiffel 65, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, I thought it was, one of the best ballads of the evening. It was very atmospheric and mysterious and the intense dramatic build-up. And I thought the falsetto at the end was, spot on. Yeah, I'm gonna say I was really hoping this would represent San Marino. I think 3 Australian decides artists would have been amazing. We still got 2, of course, but yeah, very strange that he didn't come to the top 10 after that Critics Award. So what were some other songs that sort of stood out to you in the process?
Um, I think the first one really stood out to me, even though I forget how it goes now. I do
Roy
remember
Patchy,
when
was
I,
it?
yeah, Roy
Yeah.
Patchy. I do remember when I was listening to it, I felt like it gave me serotonin. It had a pulse. two others I really liked were Never Give Up by Lorenzo Lucitra,
Mhm.
and Marte's song Prisma. For the same kind of reasons, they had a pulse, they were memorable. I also really liked Eduardo's song Due Punte sull'Equatore.
Mhm.
For me, it did sound like a 22nd place in San Remo type of song, but I mean it in the most affectionate way. Like it
Yeah.
actually sounded like something that could be in San Remo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, no, good choice there. Do you have any particular thoughts on Eiffel 65, the biggest name in the lineup?
I don't think it's a competition for I'm Blue, but
Yeah.
um, I think they gave it a shot. Although I don't really understand why they competed when they are already such a name and competing in San Marino.
Yeah.
This seems kind of weird, but yeah, if you compete, you compete.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the vocals in this performance were much better than in their semi-final performance. But that song was still absolutely atrocious, and the rapping was still pretty bad. Like, I still can't believe it came fifth. Like when Alfie didn't even come in the top 10. Just saying. Like, but anyway, maybe a big name gets you places. Another big name in this selection, of course, was Ranella. And she also didn't make the top 10. So did you have any particular thoughts on her performance as well?
I was actually surprised that she didn't make the top 10. Her song, like Eiffel 65, probably wasn't as good as the one that she's remembered by Secret,
Hmm.
but I think she put up one of the better performances. She had dancers that like fit the part as well. So I don't really understand the result that it got,
Yeah.
but I think she did a good job.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job. I thought she looked even fiercer than her Eurovision performance. I think she could have had a bit more passion and intensity. And if I'm going to be brutally honest, I think it was a bit like a poor woman's version of Fuego, with the fire and the outfits. But I did enjoy the blending of those ethnic elements still. So I was a bit shocked that she didn't come top 10. I will mention my personal favorite of the evening was Tottenham. I'm glad they came eighth, the respectable position. I thought that should have been the rock song that went to San Marino. It had a great sort of 90s rock feel and would have been a great successor to Achilles from last year. But as you know, it was a 100% jury decision, and we're clearly not on the jury. So we're just going to have to let San Marino and see how it goes. Do you think they will qualify for the final?
At this moment, I presently don't think so. I think it really depends on what gets selected next, just because all the rock songs that have already been selected kind of outshine it.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a very, very valid point. I think that's very true. Yeah, well, thank you so much, Colleen, for joining me today and for sitting through 5 hours of Una Voce per San Marino. As I said, you really should be given a medal for that. So thank you. And to the rest of you, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.